People often think politicians don't say what they mean or mean what they say, but every now and then we get a glimpse into what they really think.
You said no to Santos. You've said no to Woodside.
Senator Hume.
You said no. You've said no to Inpex.
For context, the Parliament was debating the so-called sea dumping legislation that would allow Santos to pump carbon dioxide hundreds of kilometres under the ocean where it could be buried in East Timorese territory. Penny was so frustrated because while ultimately the Liberals voted for it, they'd given her a hard time about the legislation all week. Of course, it's not just us that's got concerns about this so-called sea dumping legislation. Senator David Pocock and Monique Ryan, the member from Kooyong, certainly expressed a few concerns themselves.
And there's a 20-year-old pipe. And so what we're going to do, this is just genius, and you get the carbon dioxide from Beetaloo or from Barossa and you liquefy it. And then under massive pressure, much higher than the pressure that the LNG has been coming through in the other direction, we pump that CO2, the liquefied CO2, back to Bayu-Undan and then stick it under the seabed there. Now, liquefied CO2, it turns out, is incredibly corrosive. And we're pumping it the wrong way up a 20-year-old pipe under enormous pressure. A single leak will result in acidification of the seas, asphyxiation of marine life.
So the plan is to vent that CO2 out at sea, and then at some point we will have the CCS technology to...
It's 10 years away, David.
...to rather than vent it, we're going to put it back down there.
To be clear, this bill is custom made for the gas industry. Most people think it's hard to get laws through Parliament, but what Santos and Woodside and Inpex know is if you've got good enough friends in Parliament, they'll make whole laws just to make your project easier to get up. In the same week that the Parliament was debating this sea dumping legislation, the Prime Minister was off in the Pacific trying to convince our Pacific neighbours that we're doing everything we can to tackle climate change. But in reality, we're doing everything we can to help the expansion of the gas industry. We're rushing legislation through Parliament to make the expansion of the gas industry easier, when what we should be doing is phasing out gas, phasing out coal, and investing massively in renewable energy.
Thanks for watching. Visit australiainstitute.org.au for all our latest research, commentary and analysis, as well as details for upcoming events and webinars.